Welcome back to another episode of the Spectrum Living Podcast, where we discuss the biggest topics and trends in the home remodeling business. Make sure to subscribe to this show on your favorite podcast platform and join our mailing list by visiting our website, spectrum4remodeling.com. After you finish listening, go to our Facebook page, Spectrum 4 Remodeling, and continue the conversation. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, if you do have skylights on your house, they do last about 20 years. So if you get a new roof and your skylights are the same age, even Felix says it's time to replace them.
Do you see roofers doing, I think, do they stay away from that?
A lot of guys do. It's
like it's like a scary thing. Like,
it's a scary thing. If you mismeasure, there's Anderson and Pella skylights that don't make them anymore, and they're oddball sizes. So usually, when you get in that situation, you got drywall finished into them, and then you're taking them out.
Because a lot of people don't even realize, like a lot of these guys. I think it goes back to, right, the can thing, the cookie cutter thing, the guy. No offense, but the sales guy or kid. Nowadays, we getting old. Everybody's a kid now.
Yeah.
I see. But they don't even know the difference between a curb mounted skylight and a deck mounted.
Yeah.
I mean, so they can't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to matter.
It matters a lot. Trust me. I got a lot of bad skylights out there.
So now so you would think like the natural trend would just be stay away from that.
Yes, it is a trend, but the glass is eventually going to fail. I mean, it's a triple pane glass, but it's facing the
I always
sun.
tease people. I'm like, there's two types of skylights: ones that leak and ones that are gonna leak.
It's true. Eventually, I mean,
right? Eventually, because something's gonna happen. It's like concrete. Like in Michigan, there's two types of concrete: cracked and gonna crack.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a matter of
it's just a matter of time. You get that butyl seal around there, and you get the most sun that can be hitting it all the time.
Yeah, the position of it just doesn't lend itself, right? It's the same reason that, for one of the same reasons at Sunspace that we don't do glass roofs.
Yeah.
Now we do acrylic roofs, which is different.
Yeah.
Less light in,
Mm-hmm.
Diffuses the heat, things like that. But we don't do glass roofs.
No.
Right? And I get calls all the time. There's never one that's not fogged up, damaged, looks awful, right? It just eventually happens. And maybe, to me, those are like, that's great in Florida and in different climates, but in our climate, I don't know that a glass roof is sunroom is the best thing, right?
Yeah.
It just takes so much abuse with the snow piling on it and all that.
Yeah.
It looks cool, and the theory of it seems kind of neat, but I've never run across one that looked good.
Yeah.
After a period of time, and they all leaked, and they all, they're just, and then people call us. I get calls all the time, like, can we replace it? Can we fix it? It's like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Then when they do get a hold of somebody that will, you could have just built a new sunroom for what they'll charge you to replace all that glass.
Yeah.
And so I think skylights are kind of like, you have to know that eventually that skylight's going to have to get replaced, right? Just no different than...
And replacement is all about the measurement and knowing what type you need.
Because they will do custom size, right?
They do custom size, and take a little bit longer, so you got to plan for it. But it might just about anything you want.
So again, it's just back to a roofer. So call Spectrum guys, and we'll actually measure that skylight and figure it out and replace it correctly. So, now that we've got everybody scooping up everybody, do you see the metal roofing side of things coming to light? I mean, is there more of it? What's the trend for that?
It's trending more towards it, and a lot more people are asking about it. I've had a lot of my asphalt contractors, who wouldn't give me the time of day when I brought it up to them, are saying, "Hey, can you tell me about this?" A lot of people are asking about it now. So, I mean, the Tilcor CF shingle and shake that we sell, it looks like a heavy-duty asphalt shingle or cedar shake.
Okay.
And there's some benefits to it because there's an air gap between the deck and the shingle about 3/4 of an inch, so the whole roof breathes above the roof deck. So
you have to fur that out?
You do not. There's a system where you can put battens down and make a cool roof on top,
Okay.
vent it up heavier. There is that option if you need it, mostly for if you were having ice dams. You have a cathedral ceiling, that would be a good option, but it is a little more costly. But but it just lays like a regular shingle. It's
Okay.
got all the parts and pieces to it. You know, we stock it.
I think most people when we say metal roofs, they think of like a barn roof.
Yeah, we see.
Right.
Yeah, when you get out, toward, a lot of people are putting the barn roofs. Some people call it chicken coop metal on roofs.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's installed perfectly, it'll do okay.
Well, there's different gauges of that too.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a pretty thin gauge. Most of it's 29 gauge. There's some brands out there. It's 29 gauge if you add the paint. So, but you basically have a screw with a rubber gasket every square foot on your roof screwed through the roof, and eventually it breaks down.
Yeah, right. So it's not, a lot of people, oh, it's standing seam. It's like, well, no, that's not.
No.
It looks like, some of it looks like standing seam,
Yeah,
which is different than the barn metal we call, right?
But,
the ridge, the 24-inch, whatever. That doesn't, that's not quite, so there's kind of what we would call barn roofs, and then there's the stuff that looks like standing seam, which is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Then there's still standing
There's
seam.
still standing seam, and we're starting to see a lot of that as accents with asphalt roofs,
Okay.
porches, dormers. That's really been coming on in the last few years.
And the paint finish matters on that kind of stuff, right?
You want a Kynar. Kynar is the main name for it. There's another brand called siliconized polyester, but basically Kynar, the UV rays bounce off it and up, so you get very little fading, if any. Siliconized polyester, the light waves hit there and it kind of bounces around in there and then comes out. So, but Kynar is very important when you're doing a standing seam. There's different names for it. Some call it Trinar.
What's the most popular that you guys are seeing now? Is it that kind of metal, or is it the stone-coated shingles?
We sell more stone-coated. Standing seams coming on in the residential market. It just depends on your look. The standing seam,
style of the house,
the standing seam's for more modern look. It's a commercial-looking thing, and if you got a older Cape Cod and stuff like that.
I mean, I know that we did, back in, years ago. I mean, we did a few back in the day, of the stone coated. I think at that time it was the Decker shingles.
Yeah.
Right. I don't even know if they're still around. If
they're still around.
Okay. Which was pretty neat.
Yeah.
With those stone coated shingles.
Yeah.
Took a not as is it installing those the same or better or easier now, or
it's a lot easier now.
Because those weren't the easiest thing.
No. Actually, the guy who started the CF Shakes from Tilcor was a Decker rep for 20 years. He went to Tilcor and designed the whole system. It took what flaws he saw out of that system, took them out and made this product. So the starter is really strong, and it's about 10 or 11 parts and pieces, and it's designed to get the water out the roof as fast as possible. So, but it is an option.
We may have to start looking at that for our sunrooms, right? Because and that's something that maybe we could talk about in the future here, is because so many of the sunrooms that we're doing nowadays, the gable rooms that we do, shingling is really cosmetic. We don't really have to shingle these roofs.
Yeah.
But if you want it to look like somebody didn't park a camper on the back of your house, it needs to be shingled so it looks like the rest of the house. Or if we're doing a gable tie-in, where we're actually tying in the two roofs, then they need to be shingled. But still, it's just cosmetic. You wouldn't have to. You'd have to shingle the saddle, but you wouldn't have to shingle that. But we wanted to shingle it because it looks better.
Yeah.
But that may be something that we could talk about as far as putting those on the roof versus putting shingles on the roof. But then again, it's got to look like what they've got before and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it'll be pretty close. Its colors are similar. So
that's all really what is, its colors other than it was tied together. So now with you guys, so lumber yard, which we got, with the decks and stuff that we utilize with you guys and with the lumber. I mean, I don't know if a lot of these contractors know. I mean, you guys sell decking, you guys sell the lumber, you sell the shingles, you go in there, it's like a little hardware store.
Yeah, we got a little hardware store in there.
Right, which is cool.
Yeah.
How much like I said, so you guys have been in that location for 100-something years, right? Or is it that location?
That location in Pontiac is since 1920. They started selling
Okay.
coal, got
Okay.
into the lumber, and then eventually the roofing.
So it's kind of a one-stop shop
Yeah,
for a lot of guys.
yeah. We get a lot of contractors' crews that their mother company doesn't buy from us.
Okay.
They come to us to pick up all their extras just because we get them out quick, and
Yeah.
we got coffee there, friendly service, same people for years working there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in quite a few different wholesalers, and I will say that you guys do a really good job of not, you go into some of these places and it's just like, or is there a bell I can ring? Or
A little pompous.
I mean, I know I see is there a bell I can ring or something, because you guys aren't I know you see me standing here.
Yeah.
And no, everybody's thinking that the other guy will take care of them,
Yeah.
right? And so, but you guys, I know when we go in there, I mean, there's usually a lady right there when you come in, like first thing out of her mouth is hi.
Yeah.
So you don't really get in there without being noticed.
Yeah.
So,
Real nice young East Side lady.
there you go. Yeah. The nicest people are on the east side, right? That's all they say.
Best food is, I know that.
Yeah, there's more food over here, right? There's more food. So, and that's the thing too that we're trying to do with the show is to try and get, because we're in the east side, but we cover quite a big radius.
Yeah.
But people don't even know. I mean, we got our showroom here and all that. People don't even know that we're here, and you just keep trying to promote. You keep trying to let people know that we're here, and it's amazing how we've been here since we moved into this location in, I think, 2014 from Romeo. And as much as we're on WJR, as much as we're at the home shows, as much as we're on Facebook, as much as it's just amazing how when you talk to someone, they go, "Where are you? Really? You're like a mile from me? I didn't even know you were here."
You need to get them in here. I mean, you got everything set up. You got coffee, donuts. I mean,
yeah, right.
This is Taj Mahal.
There's so much. We're trying to. Every room's built in here. The shingles are on display. We used to have a Pink Panther. I don't know what happened to it. Somebody stole the Pink Panther. We have to get another Pink Panther. But trying to show everything that we do, and then working with our suppliers like you guys to make sure if there's something new, if there's something that we should be showing, like there's the fiber on decking, which you guys carry, so we've got that all on display. So we rely on our suppliers to help us too, to say, hey, what should we be showing a homeowner? If there's something new, because you guys are tip of the sword for us too. We don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're doing this year. All the vendors come with their new stuff this time of year. We sit down and learn with them. And
are you guys still doing your thing, your lunch thing?
Yeah, every Memorial Day to Labor Day, every Wednesday, we have a lunch and learn with a vendor. Feed everyone, and they can learn about the products.
So and you guys have been doing that for a minute.
Yeah, I'd say close to 10 years, I would believe.
Okay, so it's got to be working. And for me, I'm always it seems like I'm always on the other side of town on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't figure out how to.
It's no big deal. I'll eat your share of food.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, well, there's free lunch over there, and you can learn something, right?
Yeah.
So what's better than a free lunch other than free lunch and learn something?
It's great for you guys because you actually get some one-on-one time with the vendor too, which is hard to get because.
And that could be anybody, right? Shingle manufacturer, siding manufacturer.
Yeah, we have fiber on there every year. We got every type, skylights, whatever you want.
That's pretty neat. So then, what else? So now, is there anything exciting that you guys have in store this year, or something that you see is happening, or?
We're thinking there's going to be continued growth in the higher end roofing products, the metal, the Brava shakes, the composites. We're starting to see. We do sell a lot of cedar shakes, but there's a lot of maintenance involved in that. So that's where the composite shakes come in. A lot of people are tired of having oil their cedar shakes every 4 to 5 years. And if you get into the composites, you better insurance rates because you got a Class A fire rating versus none.
The composite ones, do they look like the cedar shakes? I mean,
Yeah,
color-wise? I mean, they have like a natural look to them? Or?
Yeah, they're really close now.
Okay.
The prototypes had some issues.
Okay.
They kind of look plasticky, but I would say the Brava line is as close as I've seen.
Because like vinyl siding cedar shakes don't look like cedar shake.
No.
Right? I mean,
No.
they look nice. I mean,
No.
for painted colors and
Yeah.
things like that. It's a nice look, but
Yeah.
they don't look like cedar shake,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, so for instance, Brava, their biggest market's Chicago, and Lake Forest, Chicago is all cedar shakes. So the biggest cedar shake installer out there wanted the color of the faded cedar shakes from Lake Forest. So Brava actually went out there and just
matched them up.
matched it exactly to what they wanted. So the color is now called Lake Forest. It's their biggest
Okay,
mover.
that makes sense.
So it's
Now, do they have like the rough songs or the splits or?
it's just all hand splits.
All hand splits.
And then they make a slate. We're seeing a lot. Da Vinci makes a nice slate, the composite slate, and so does Brava. Brava's a little thicker, but we're starting to see that because slate is you gotta re-engineer the roof for the weight.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight.
There's only a few guys that.
Yeah, who do you find to do that? I mean,
there's a company in Detroit that's about 150 years old.
We have this, our roofing crew has been with us for a long time, and but I can't even imagine trying to find somebody to do that.
No, there's very few guys. Usually I got a guy for everything.
You do,
but
right?
I only got one guy for slate.
Whenever some custom special product is, that's again back to the homeowners need to realize that they don't have to do anything, but it's nice to let a homeowner know who we're dealing with and why, because when things come up, it's a resource.
Yeah.
Right? You guys know. Right? So I'm not if if we're gonna GC, which we do a lot, because homeowners don't want to compartmentalize. They don't want 5 contractors.
Yeah.
If they can find somebody that will run the whole project for them, it's just easier.
A lot easier.
And with us, with the decks and the sunroofs and the roof and the windows, so if we're going to cut a hole in your house and put a patio door where there isn't one, or whatever we're doing, it's easier for us to just kind of combine the whole thing, bring the concrete guys in, all that kind of stuff to handle the project.
Yeah.
But then there's certain things, so if like a metal roof or different product lines that maybe is going to be incorporated into that job, then we would then lean on you.
Yeah.
And you guys to say, who is it that we can count on?
Yeah. So
that we're not just finding a guy who goes, yeah, I can do that, right? Because there's always that guy.
There's a lot of those guys.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Well, how many have you done them? No, but it can't be that hard, right?
Yeah.
I remember years and years and years ago, I asked a guy when those egress windows first started coming out, guys were getting into digging those out, putting the well in, doing that. I was young at the time, and I said, how do you learn to do that? Right, because that seemed like a lot.
Oh,
right, cutting a hole in a basement.
Yeah.
At the time, that seemed like a big deal. And he says, effort, confidence.
Effort, I like that.
I'm like, okay, right.
Yeah.
But what if you screw that? Right? I mean,
effort's got to take over.
But you got to start somewhere, right? But it's got to be you got to be confident. You got to be willing to put forth the effort. And basically, you're just figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right? But nobody wants to be the guinea pig.
No.
Right. No. So our goal, that's where we can eliminate that is by coming to you guys and saying, hey, we have this project. Who could we bring in?
Yeah.
To do that, and that's. I think that's what's never going to go away. That's going to be why we're still here, why you guys are still here, because there's still always going to be that need.
There is, and that's like one of my favorite parts of the job. I can bring different customers together, work together, get it done.
Because you're not getting that at the box stores, and you're not getting that even with these other wholesalers now that just keep getting bought out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have wholesalers right now that I buy material from. I never hear from them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so it's like I had a rep that I talked to all the time, and then he went away, and then now the new rep, I never even hear from the guy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, whatever. But they're just, I don't know if they just keep getting bought out, or at some point in time, I think they're just under the radar. I don't think it mattered, but so there's something being lost, all the way down, all the way to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think, for us, it's important to stay. No, the homeowner's going to deal directly with me, or have some dealing with me, um, and I'm going to have some dealings with you, and everybody's going to be, if there's a problem, I can call you, and you'll come and look at it, or you'll get me the guy that needs to come and look at it, right? That kind of stuff. And I think that's important. We can't lose that, and I think some of that is being lost.
It is a little bit, yeah.
That's why we wanted to bring this show together for the homeowners, and not we didn't want it to be a contractor show about, all the contractors. We wanted it to be for the homeowner. We wanted it to be kind of educational, talk about things, and, give a platform for the people that we work with on a daily basis, to kind of promote themselves too, right? And shamelessly keep telling everybody to call Spectrum Remodeling.
There you go.
But to make sure that that we're not losing a platform, there's so many smaller guys that are still out there trying not to get gobbled up. Or maybe people don't, the bigger companies don't see a value in that, but I think there is. I think there's a value between knowing that you're dealing with a smaller company, and we know your name, and I'm going to come out, or whatever, and I'm going to walk that roof. I'm going to look at things that maybe the other guy's not going to look at. And it might not be on a fancy iPad, but we know what we're looking for.
So we'll get any more orders written on cocktail napkins?
No cocktail napkins. We have grown from that, right? So might still just be a text message.
Oh, there we go. Right? We love text messages. That way we have a record.
Yeah, so I need this, and to this address, right? And do it that way. So, well, Vince, man, I really appreciate you coming over, being part of the show today. And so I'll let you know when this drops. We'll get people to like and subscribe, right? We need that so we can get this out to more people, and promote Benson's, and so if you guys remember, from Memorial Day till
Labor Day,
every Wednesday,
lunch and learn,
right?
Yeah.
So nothing better than a hot dog and some information, right?
Yeah.
And they cook hamburgers and stuff too.
Hamburgers,
right?
chicken,
No vegetarian stuff, Mr. Producer. So but just food,
I appreciate you having me on.
No, I appreciate it, man.
You're one of the good guys. We go back a bit.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and we're still here, so we'll just keep pushing.
All right.
Thanks, guys. So remember, like and subscribe, and give us a call. Anything you need: windows, roofing, siding, sunrooms, decks. Give us a shout. We'll take care of it. Talk to you soon.